Hi, welcome. This is Dr. Hadi and you are watching Medical Globe. Dear students, today one more special topic I have brought for you, that is the non-standard amino acids. We will discuss a concise, a clear idea of non-standard amino acids and also the classification of non-standard amino acids along with example. So start. In order to get the idea on non-standard amino acid, I will refer you to go to my video where I have already recorded a lecture on standard amino acids. Still, we will revise it, repeat it slightly here once again. Let's suppose this is a body protein. This is your body protein. And very simple diagram. Let's suppose the body protein. Inside that protein, if you see that, you will find so many repeating units, and these units are called as amino acids. Fine. And that is, every student knows very well that amino acids are the building block of the protein. Fine. These amino acids, which are the part of the body protein, these amino acids are called as standard amino acids. Fine. Now today's topic is non-standard amino acids. So if I ask a question from a student that can you define non-standard amino acid, definitely he or she will tell me the definition reverse of this. I mean, he or she will say those amino acids which are not the part of protein. That is fine. The part of protein. We say, okay, this is fine. I will give marks 3 out of 5 marks for this definition because it is correct, but there is some deficiency. Why? For non-standard amino acid, the first condition is okay, which are not the part of protein, but there are some other amino acids as well which are present in body protein. Let's suppose once again this is a body protein, and in that body protein you will see again smaller units called amino acid. For the simplicity, I have just mentioned them as a circles because we don't need to write the structure of each amino acid, neither we are concerned. We have already discussed a lecture on the structure of amino acids, detail each and every 20 amino acid, each and every amino acid have been mentioned on the whiteboard along with structure. So we don't need to write the structure. We will represent each amino acid with a small circle. Now let's suppose this is one amino acid, and in that amino acid, if we add an OH group, let's suppose we add an OH group, or we add a methyl group, or we add a phosphate group, not necessarily all amino acids, in any one of the amino acids, or 2 amino acids, or 3. So such amino acids will be called as derivatives of amino acids. What we name them as a derivatives of amino acids. Now, these modified amino acids are also called as non-standard. They are also under the umbrella of non-standard amino acids. So if a student write the definition, those amino acids which are not the part of protein, will you give them marks, total marks 5 out of 5? Definitely not, because there are some amino acids which are the part of protein but they are modified. So the very precise and correct definition of non-standard amino acids is that which are either not the part of protein, or if they are the part of protein, they must be modified. So this is where we got the idea of non-standard amino acids. Now we'll come to the classification of the non-standard amino acids. We have classified standard amino acids in different categories on the basis of nutritional value, on the basis of polarity, and so on. But non-standard amino acids are very polite amino acids. We have only one type of classification, that is on the whiteboard. So here we go. Non-standard amino acids are classified in 3 categories. The first one is amino acid derivatives. This category, you are already familiar with this because those amino acids which are derived, they are called as derivative amino acid. Let me give you some examples. The very first example is the collagen, protein. Okay, as a very well-known protein in our body. That protein is present in your bone, muscle, skin, and so on. The second protein, okay, this is not amino acid, fine, this is just protein. And in that protein, there are several amino acids are there, but some amino acid called as hydroxyproline and hydroxylysine. These 2 amino acids are present in collagen. And you know that those students who have learned the structure and the name of the standard amino acid, he or she, they will recognize that proline is standard amino acid. So yeah, I will also say yes, you are right, agree. And then lysine is also standard amino acid. What happened in proline? There is OH group. Suppose I will write the structure of a proline, very simple structure, most simple structure of proline. If there is nitrogen, here is a carboxylic group. Let's suppose a proline. If we add an OH group somewhere here at the corner, it will be called as hydroxyproline. Now this hydroxyproline is a derived amino acid. And then lysine. In lysine, if you have an alpha carbon, with this one side you will see there is a carboxylic group, and this another side you will see there is NH2, and then there is H, and then below this we have 1 2 3 4 CH2s and 1 NH2. Fine. CH2 and CH. Fine, this is the structure of lysine. If we add an OH, and this become hydroxylysine. So it's again a derived amino acid. So that's what we got. Collagen. One more thing is beside collagen we have some more protein, that is histone protein, and one more is that is GABA carboxy glutamic acid. Fine. In histone, that is very special protein. Why? Because a histone protein is attached with our DNA, and when DNA and histone are attached together, they make chromosome. So this histone protein contain lots of amino acids. Among these amino acids, some of the amino acids are methylated, means methyl group is added, or a phosphate group is added. So whether you add methyl group or phosphoryl phosphate group, they also will become a derived. If an amino acid become derived by addition of OH group, so these amino acids can also be derived by addition of methyl or phosphate group. Now the last one is the gamma carboxyglutamic acid. Is a very special amino acid, and it helps in blood clotting. Because there is an additional group, carboxy, right? Now the second category is non-protein amino acid. These are those amino acids which are not the part of protein, but they are present in the body. It doesn't mean that they are outside our body, outside living body. Yes, they are present in the body, but they are not present in the protein. They are performing some specific functions. Like, I would like to tell you, what are these functions? And these are number one is ornithine. Second is citrulline. The third one is arginosuccinic acid or arginosuccinate. The fourth one is thyroxine. The fifth one is creatinine. And the sixth one is GABA. Ornithine, citrulline, and arginosuccinate. These three amino acids are involved in the conversion of ammonia into urea. Ammonia is a toxic molecule, and it is present in your blood and body. It has to convert into urea in the liver. So what are those molecules which help ammonia to convert into urea? That is ornithine, citrulline, and arginosuccinic acid, by the help of a cycle called urea cycle. So we now realize that yes, there are some amino acids which are not a part of protein, but they are performing some very specific function. Then we have thyroxine. It is another amino acid. From that amino acid we get thyroid hormone. Thyroid hormone is involved in metabolism and growth. Fine. Then creatinine. This is another amino acid. It is derived from your muscle. As a heart muscle, other muscle, when they are working, we get another amino acid called creatinine from that muscle. Is that attached? Okay, not attached, but when after the muscle has done its activity. So creatinine is a muscle amino acid, but you should not be confused. There is a part of protein. No, it is not the part of protein. Neither. GABA, gamma aminobutyric acid. Complete name is gamma aminobutyric acid. This amino acid is a neurotransmitter. GABA. As your brain, there are acetylcholine, dopamine, so many molecules are there which helps in the conduction of the nerve impulse. So this is also one of the neurotransmitter, GABA. And then the last one is D amino acid. In our body, the amino acids stereochemistry, if we see an amino acid from the stereochemistry point of view, we know that a molecule can be either in L form or in D form. L and D isomer, kind of isomerism, L isomer, D isomer. We have already discussed this. Most of the amino acids that are present in our body, they are in the L form. Majority or most of the amino acids of the body are in L configuration, L isomer. But there are some amino acids which are in D configuration. They are D amino acids. They also play a very important role in our body and outside body, means in other organisms like in bacteria and some drugs. Yes, they are very important from the pharmaceutical point of view, from drugs point of view. One example of this is D-penicillamine. One of the very good example is D-penicillamine. It's a very well famous amino acid. It was in D configuration. It is used as a chelator. A chelator is any molecule that attach a metal ion with itself and does not let it go to give us some harm to our body. So it can be used as in poisoning. If copper is in excess in our body, it may cause a disease called Wilson's disease. And in order to treat this disease, we will administer the D-penicillamine to the patient. So that's what we got. and then we have some more amino acid also in the D form. So with in this way, finally the whole lecture of non-standard amino acid has been ended here. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and also thank you very much for watching this video, especially in a condition like this, that we have a pandemic situation all over the world. Is a lockdown, and this is really some good opportunity for me to record my lecture, to spread my voice to all of you people all around the world, those who can understand English, our simple language. And one thing, as my fee of this class is a message: try to spread peace and prosperity around you. If you make it means if you spread peace and prosperity, you will be my student really. And if not, I will not consider you as my student. Try to obey this, and you will enjoy your life. Thanks for watching once again. Remember us in your prayers, and also give us a like and share that channel, and also subscribe it. Thank you. Bye bye.